Hey guys, very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the video number 425. My name is Ajay Parmar and today I'm going to walk you through one of the Outlook code which we are going to actually make in the VBA, Excel VBA, and we're going to check that how many attachments we have, what are their names when they are received, and what is basically the subject of that attachment with the date also when actually those attachments all in other words when that email with the attachments actually popped up in your inbox or in any of your folder, right? So if you're watching the channel for the first time, as always, a very warm welcome to all of you, and I hope you will thoroughly enjoy this video. And apart from this, the other videos, 424 videos, which are based on Excel, Excel VBA, MS Access, and Access VBA, combination of basic videos, intermediate videos, advanced videos, everything we have gotten for you guys. This is my channel name, youtube.com/c/Ajay Kumar Parmar. So what you need to do is you need to go to the playlist, and when you click on the playlist on my channel, these are the 45 different playlists which we have created for you, and you can see that they are actually titled in a very proper way, proper manner. Any video which talks about the access queries, it is actually on the queries, and you would come to know that this is on the MS Access. If it talks about Access VBA, then you know that it is going to talk about the Access VBA, and the subject which we have discussed in this is the collection and the other loop. Similarly for the Excel VBA we have, and so there are a lot of tons of the videos here. As you know, we have crossed 400 number, and a lot of you have asked me, so I have started sharing this in my introduction, how to start this. These are 45 playlists. So what if somebody wants to learn the Excel VBA? Please watch the videos in this series. These are all the categories, the playlist, right? Each playlist will have, guys, 5 to 10 videos, maybe 14 videos also we have got for some playlists. So you just go and start the learning the videos from there, right? And this is for the Excel, this is for the Access, this is for the Access VBA, right? We still actually have to go a long way in the Access VBA and Access front end, but I'll make sure that I will be uploading the videos on that. So pause the video and just note it down. That's it. All right, so now let's go to the today's question. Okay, so I got this comment from one of my subscribers, Heyman, right? So this is what actually he's saying. Hi Ajay, I'm trying to create a log file to know the list of the attachments saved and unsaved from a particular folder, total attachments, right? Like I don't know what you're talking about, the unsaved one, because I think the attachments, if they come in your email, they are actually going to be in the email, and you can simply go and save them in the desktop. So this something I'm not clear, so I will ignore this particular part. So what he has to say in the rest of this comment. So attachments like column A, date, B, received from the this. So B column will have the received from whom you got the email. C column will have the mail subject. D column will have the attachment file name. If there are multiple attachments in one email, all attachment names should appear on the one mail subject line. Now that's something I really loved it. If you have a lot of emails, for example, if you have emails, one email, but one email talks about the let's say 4 attachments, then he's saying that it does not mean that attachment A should come here, and then B come here, C come here, and then D come here. So what should happen, it should come under the one subject line. So subject, if you're gonna write his subject line, for example, let's say this, then the attachment should come here. So we can create the attachment here, the attachment 1, and then we can go and further create the attachment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and as many attachments, guys, you can create here, right? I had actually talked about this long time back as well. If you go to the playlist called Excel VBA connecting Outlook with Excel, you would find a similar kind of a video, right? But in this video I'm also going to answer one of my subscribers' question, who actually wanted to see that how to actually check the time, so we're gonna also capture the time of the email along with the other information. So this is first thing. So I'm gonna write here, let's say serial number, guys. So this is the subject, and then what else we need, attachment 1, attachment 2 is already there, so you're gonna write the mail date as well. So this is going to be the mail date, and I think you need the time as well, right? So we need the time as well. So I think this is how your code is gonna look like, right? So attachments, I think if you think that your email can have more than 9 attachments, you just need to drag it down. I hope that is it's but obvious thing. So I'm just keeping it as 9, and I'm gonna give it a good font. Let's let me just go and change this to 9. double click here, and that's how it's gonna look like, guys, right? So this is where I'm gonna talk about my all the things. Okay, so let's go and remove the grid line. Okay, there we go. So here we're going to have all the attachment names, and by the way, let me correct the spellings as well. So I guess we are good to go with this, and subject line would also come, and yeah, so let's go to the Outlook. I'm going to open my Outlook, and I'm going to show you how, you know, we can code this particular piece. So the first thing which I will do is, guys, I'm going to open the Outlook. So I just go and open my Outlook 2016, and then I will show you that, you know, in my folder how many emails I have gotten. This is I don't use it for my official purpose, so we will not be having so many emails there, but still that doesn't matter, because even if you have 1 or 2 emails containing the attachment, it should be able to make you enough confident, you know, to write the code. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna take maybe on my folder called dummy. That's my folder dummy, and so we can see here these are all the emails. Now let me see that how many emails we have gotten here. So this email has I think 1 attachment only. So alright, so I'm trying to figure out if we have more attachments. Yeah, there we go. So this email has got 3 attachments, guys, right? So now the subscriber says that if we have 3 emails, it should not go you know, and create the 3 separate rows. Okay, it should go and write the first name here, and then the second name here, and the third name here, and the subject will, you know, obviously will remain the same. So that's basically what we are looking forward to here. Okay, so that's what we're gonna get, you know, the crate. So guys, let's go ahead and let's do the code. Now before I jump onto the code, what we need to do is, let's make a plan. So first of all, you know, the first thing which you would do is, because you are in the Excel VBA, right? You are in the Excel environment and you're gonna use the Excel VBA, but Outlook is altogether different, right? Because Outlook is another application and it has its own VBA. Many you know, many students, when they call me and when they take my online training sessions, you know, they often say that they want to learn the VBA, and when I say that, so which particular VBA they're looking, you know, so sometimes just out of the curiosity, you know, I ask them, so they say that obviously Excel VBA, right? Now the point is, guys, you're not aware, I mean, you know, many of you might not be knowing that every object has its own VBA. Outlook has its own VBA. MS Access, like it has its own VBA. MS Word has its own VBA. So if I talk about the Outlook, you know, if you go to the Outlook and you just press here Alt F11, which is the shortcut key to go to the window, the VBA window, you know, look at this, guys. This is how it looks like, the Outlook, you know, window. So if I click on the Project Explorer, you see that this says Microsoft Outlook. Now this is not the Microsoft Excel environment. This is altogether a different environment. So you can see that you can write the code here as well. If I just show you, you know, so object hierarchy is going to actually change here. The syntax, the concept remains the same, but still you will have the object hierarchy different. Now you have a new email, new, you know, mail, ex, quit, reminder, startup, I mean, I don't know what all it is, item load. Whenever the email comes on your inbox, then that's called the event, right? So it's altogether different things. So what I'm trying to say is, we will have to tell our Excel VBA that, look, we are going to work with the Outlook now, so we will have to set up an object. We will have to create an Outlook object so that my Excel object can interact with that Outlook object, right? So how to do that? So for that, we're going to create an object, and that object is going to be your Outlook object, right? So the first object which you're going to create here is the Outlook, because that's the Outlook application we are going to create. That's the biggest object. And then once you create the Outlook object, what is the next thing you want to do? Well, the next thing I think we want to do is, we want to actually define the folder where we're gonna hit, right? Now my folder actually is a subfolder which is inside this inbox, and I created this dummy folder. So we have to define the folder as well. Now how are you gonna tell Excel VBA that in the Outlook which folder I'm going to target? For that, they have given us the object class, which is namespace. So we're gonna use the namespace class. Okay, and then in the namespace class we will define our folder which is going to take this value from the namespace, and so that means the folder is going to take this value from the namespace class, because namespace has one of the methods which is called the get, you know, default folder. So we're gonna pick up that folder from there. Now once you guys get the folder, what is the next thing you would like to do? Well, the next thing which I would like to do is, obviously I would like to run the loop in that folder, because I don't know how many emails I have, and neither I want to run that loop only on one email. So there we're gonna actually run the another loop which is going to be for each email in this folder. That's what we're gonna do here. So for each email, basically that's actually is the collection loop which we are going to run. So every time the loop is going to check, we're gonna loop through this entire folder, and we're gonna check that if you have the attachment, please save that attachment. Or maybe in the I talked about this, how to save the file. I'm not here to talk about how to save the file, but I'm here to retrieve that file information, right, and to print that file information in the Excel. So that's how we're going to run the collection loop. And in that collection loop, what we are going to do is we're going to take so this is how the loop your loop would look like for each email in my folder dot items, or you can say that emails and next, right? So what happens, this every email will be checked in your folder, which you will define in your folder object, and then we're gonna actually capture that. And guys, one more thing, now once the loop is going to run in this, what is the next step you are going to do? Well, once the loop is going to run, then obviously you need to find out whether it has an attachment or not. So again, there will be one more loop which we are going to run for each attachment of that email, because you never know how many attachments you have. So another collection loop, we are going to run it, and that's it guys, that's it. So let's go ahead and let's make this code. And so I go in the developer tab and I click on the Visual Basic. I go and create this first I go to the Project Explorer. Control R is the shortcut key, or you can use this this one, Project Explorer. Now I go and insert the module here. So I'm gonna insert the module. The first thing which I would do is I go in the tool reference, and to make sure that your Excel should be able to talk with the Outlook, you're gonna use the Microsoft Outlook library, which is going. So these are all the alphabetically sorted libraries. I'm just going to use the Microsoft Outlook. So where is the Outlook? Yeah, there we go, 16.0, because I'm using the 2016 guys. You may have a different version. Make sure you click back on the tool reference, and you make sure that you should be able to see that Microsoft Outlook on the top, right? On the top means after your default libraries, it should be there. If it is not showing, then that means that though you tried to maybe check mark it, but it didn't actually get selected. So make sure it should be there. Now I'm ready for my Outlook code. Now I'm ready. I can now interact with the Outlook. So what is the first thing? The first thing would be, obviously, first of all, let's just write the code. So this is going to be Outlook code, let's say. Now the first thing, as I said, if you remember, that we have to actually create the Outlook application, and this is how we create the Outlook application. Outlook, I write here Outlook dot application, set O equals to new Outlook dot application. Now O is just a variable object, right? You can create whatever you want to create, right? So O is going to be referred as the Outlook application. Now once the Outlook is created, I would go and define my folder. So I'm going to write here my folder. Okay, so this is how Outlook dot folder would come. So we're going to write here Outlook dot folder. Now this is my folder, which I will set it as the dummy one. So I write here my folder, but how are you going to define it? You need some method. You need to approach the Outlook, and you need to pick up the folder, the dummy folder, which I was telling you. So before you write this set folder line, what you need to do is you need to actually define a namespace. So namespace, actually it is a class which is used to work with the different folders. So I just write here ONS as Outlook dot namespace, and then I write ONS equals to O dot get namespace, guys. These are the lines which are standard lines, and you have to write this. So message application and the platform interface, this is how MAPI stands for. So basically when you write this, now why I have written this line, because now I can go in my folder and I can say that my folder has to be equals to ONS dot get folder, get default folder. Look at this, guys. This is so important. This is how you can use, you can say that I want the get default default folder. Now that your folder is, it can be draft, it can be contact, it can be anything, but I'm gonna pick up the inbox, because in my inbox I have a further folder which I'm gonna write here folders, and the name of that folder is going to be dummy. That's it. So these are the things which you should write, right? Now let's talk about the another class which we're going to use. Now I was talking about the collection loop, that you need to, once you have set up the folder, now your code will go in this dummy and it's gonna run the loop. But guys, to run the loop, obviously you need to know that which email you are going to refer to. So to deal with the emails, we have another class. Okay, so I'm gonna use one more class. I name it as OMail, let's say, and this is how you write Outlook dot mail item. So mail item basically it is a class which is used to deal with the emails. So whenever your code involves, whenever your coding requires exchange of emails or movement of the emails, or drafting a new email, definitely you are supposed to use this mail item class. So we're gonna define it. So this is how we define it. What is my outlook? My outlook is O object. So I go in the create item, and please create this O mail item. Okay, you can also create the other things, for example OL appointment item. This I talked about, that how you can create the calendars, how you can set up your calendars using the VBA, and how you can link it with the Excel. You can write all the things in your Excel, on which date I'm meeting which client, and what is going to be the meeting room, and what is the discussion and all that stuff. So go and watch that video under the playlist Excel VBA Outlook. Okay, so I don't want to use that. I simply right now in this video I'm going to use this create item OL mail item, right? I showed you in this as well in the sheet 2. This is the playlist. Let me show you here. Yeah, Excel VBA connecting Outlook with Excel. So when you go to my channel, when you click on the playlist, this is where you get to see that the playlist, and that playlist I think almost got now 36 amazing videos, right? So just find it out here. You will get to see, like, this is the one. This is for the connect access with the Excel. So anyways, let's come back to the topic. So now I go, and what is the next thing I want to do? So the email is created. Now the guys, what we are going to do is I'm going to actually run the loop, because now everything is done. And one more thing, because we want to work with the Excel files, text file attachment, so you're gonna use the one more object atmt as outlook.attachment, because we want to run the loop for each attachment in attachments as well, as I was talking about, right? The first thing which you will do is you will run the loop. You will loop through all the emails one by one. So you're going to write here for each OMail, which is my email, in my folder, which is fol.items. Okay, now this, what it is going to do is, this is going to go one by one on every email, right? So when it is going to go on the email, this is where you will define that you need to store the that's the OMail subject also, and OMail date as well. So we can create here a different variables, or maybe you can directly say that in this sheet start entering the items from here, the serial number and the date and the time and the subject. So this is how you can do that. So what I will do is I will define my present sheet, which is sheet 1 right now. So I can go ahead and I can write here dim WP as this workbook. This is how we write. Set my WP equals to this workbook. Now once you do that, you need to define your worksheet. So this is my worksheet, dim WSS worksheet. So I'm going to define the worksheet. Then you write set WS equals to WP and then sheets, and what is the name of the sheet, which is sheet 1. So now why I'm doing that, first of all you should understand that. Now the reason why I'm referring to the WS is because so then I don't have to write this entire sheet name again and again. I can directly write WS dot and the cells or the range, whatever you want, and that is going to be used by the sheet 1 automatically. So the first thing which I will do is, when I'm going to write this code, before I start the loop, I make sure that I should be in the sheet 1, obviously, because you create the button here. So when you click on that button, it will make sure that you are on the correct sheet. So here what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to write here ws dot select. Okay, so still I can write it, make sure that you should be on this same sheet. And then from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that I would say the range, let's say the range, and you're going to start from A100, let's say, dot end, and then you're going to write here Excel up dot offset to go to the next line, the blank line. This is what I will do. I will select that, right? So once you select that, you should be on the serial number 1. You should be on the A2 cell actually, right? So then you can write here active cell. You're going to write here active cell dot value equals to maybe you can write the serial number 1, or maybe serial number 1 we can put the formula there. That's really not so important. So maybe you can start from the B, and the the code starts here, and then you're going to capture the mail date. So how are you going to do that? So active cell is going to capture the date of your email, and how you're going to get that? So we're going to write here what is your OMail. So this is your OMail, and now you see that here there must be some property which you can see that which should be here. if we want actually the mail. So you can see that this is the creation time. Okay, so maybe if this is the one we are looking forward to, we can see that. Or what else the other options are? Do we have any other options? Let me check that. So apart from the creation item, is there any delivery date also? No, it's sent. Okay, so sent is something else. Sent on behalf of, subject. So we have the subject here. This is also something we are going to do, and submitted is also there. Start date, subject. So there are a lot of, you can see that the properties are here, right? So we can use, we can try on them one by one. So I would say maybe I'm going to use the receive time. Yeah, so receive time looks good to me, so I can capture the receive time here. And so how the receive time is going to look like, first of all, let's quickly run the code, guys. So there we go. So I'm going to run this code. The folder is defined. You can see the folder is there. Now for each email in my folder, and you know that the folder actually is, you know, my that's the dummy one. So I go and run the loop, but at the same time what I want to do is I want to ensure that I should be on this B, you know, B2 cell. I'm already on the B2. Let's say if I click somewhere outside, this is going to take me to the B2, and I'm on the B2 now. What is the OMail received item? You can see that I got the date, I got the time. So what you can do is you can format this, guys. You can split the date from this. So I think I can use the format function here. So I can write here that I just need the format time. So you can you know, write this HH and MM and the SS part of this. And so this is how, so when I run this, this is going to give you the time of the email, right? So this should be actually on the time part. So I think so this line would come little later. First of all, I think we need to capture the date. So to capture the date, why don't I just write MMM and then DD, and then you can write here YY like this. So if I just rerun the line, see what will happen. Okay, there we go. And let me just click here. Let me increase the size of this. Okay, so this is not showing me the good result. What's wrong with this? We can go back and see. So what's my email? My email is this. Alright, so if I just want to split it, okay, I should have used here hyphen or slash. Okay, let me go there and let me see that. Alright, perfect, guys. You see that? It's coming. Now if you're wondering how come I get the MAR, because I've written this M 3 times. If you're gonna write M 4 times, you'll have the complete spellings of March. If you're gonna write it 2 times, you will see 3 instead of the March. So that's all up to you, right? So once you have got this value, I want to definitely go to the next cell. So I write here active cell offset, and then I move, you know, by one column. So that value has to be equals to so first of all I select the cell, and that's going to take me to the another cell, and then I simply use the same thing again, but this time I change the formatting. Okay, so I'm going to use actually this, instead of the date I'm going to use the time. So I'm going to use HH and then MM and then SS like this. So if I just run this line here again, now it's on the time, and look at this, we got the time. And then again you know, type in the same code, and again you move one cell more, you know, towards the right side. So if I just run this line, I'm on the subject now. Now you know how to get the subject of the email. So you simply write omail dot subject, right? So you have the subject. So if I just press F8, look at this, you got the subject as well. Now once you got the subject, the next time you want to do is you want to find out how many attachments you have. So guys, now what we will do, now before we go to the next omail, let me reset the code by the way. And now here we are actually going to further run the loop that for each attachment, so you're going to write here for each attachment in my omail dot attachment. Okay, this is how we write, and then next attachment. So you are learning here how to write the two loops together. Now before it goes to the next email here in next omail, first of all it will loop through all the attachments here. Okay, and now then what we are going to do is we are simply going to run here that obviously I need the attachment name. So then what I'm going to do is every time the loop runs, and we're going to pick up the attachment name. So what we will do is on the active cell dot this offset, so what I will do before I before we come to the loop, this looping part, I'll make sure that I should be on the attachment cell. Okay, so after printing this subject line, again I write here active cell dot offset, active cell dot offset, and then we, on the same row, we will move one row, and I'm going to select that cell. So I should be on this attachment 1, as simple as that, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this, and so here what we will do is that if the attachments are more than one, then obviously we will like to run again a one more loop, right? Because if you have attachment 1, then you can simply write that active cell is going to be, active cell value should be equals to my attachment, that file name. But what if you have more attachments? Then you need to run this loop again, right? So what happens in that case, this loop will come again onto the next attachment, and then here you need to move this cell. So I'm going to write here active cell dot offset, and then offset it is by 1 again, and then select it, and then active cell has to be equals to active cell dot value, and then I'm going to again write that attachment name. Okay, so that's what exactly we need to do, or maybe I think we don't need to write this, because this is going to be taken care in the loop itself. Because once I print the value in the attachment 1, and then the cell moves here in the another, this column, because of this active cell offset 01, right? If you do not know the offset function, how to use that, that's a very introduction part. You can go and watch the Excel VBA introduction series and watch those the videos on the ranges and the offset. So this is going to move me on the attachment 2, and then once I have on the attachment 2, this next attachment, if there is any, it's going to run the code again. So I guess we will be fine this, we are done with this. And over here I'm simply going to write here that if this cell actually is not equals to blank, then what I want to do is I want to capture the row number of this. So row number returns the row number of the current cell, and you know that the row number of the current cell is 2, so I'm going to subtract -1 from it, and otherwise it should always remain as 1. So that's it. This is how we're going to do it, and the moment I drag this, so your serial numbers will automatically come, right? So let me delete that, let me delete everything, guys, and serial number is also deleted. Perfect. Now we're going to run the loop, and let's see. So let's run the code again from the very beginning. So now before I run the code, you see that when you are running this code for each mail, before you go to the for each attachment, first of all you will capture the mail time, mail date, and subject, right? So that's why I'm ensuring that I should be on the B column, and not only on the B column, but you have to make sure you should be on the blank cell, right? So right now I'm going to run this B10. It's going to take me to this B2, because I'm using offset, control up arrow, and then move one cell down from there. So guys, this should take me to the B2. Perfect. Now we got the mail receive time, that's going to be this 29th of March. So I'm going to convert this into this March 29. Perfect. And now my cell is going to offset me from the same row, on the same row, but with the one column to the right side. So I got on the time, and now this is going to be extracted as time. So we got the time here. Again I'm going to move, and again you have a new subject. Perfect. Now I'm going to move to the attachment 1 before I really run my code. Now in this we have to see whether we got any today date sending email, whether this actually holds any attachment. So if I go here, look at this, this actually got one attachment, right? This is the preview, so it has only one attachment. So no worries, I come back to the code. Now this should go in the loop because we have the attachments. There we go. Now the active cell should give me the value of this attachment file, which is introduction to VBA, and that's what exactly you saw there. So we got the VBA. Now it should go to the next column. So guys, I'm now on the attachment 2. You can see here, right, the cursor is there, but do we have any further attachment? No, we don't have any attachment, right? So this loop should come out of it, right? And there we go. Wow. Now this should go to the next email, guys, right? So next email, turn for the next email. Now again, now you're on the next email, right? But before you again capture the information, you need to ensure that you should be in the other cell for the other email. So this is again going to now take me to the B, from the B100. It uses control up arrow, and I'm going to use this offset 10. So it should take me to the B3, and there we go. Now you have the B3 again. Now the next email would come, which actually I got it on November 2016, and the same code, guys, going to repeat. So there we go. Now how many emails this email has? So let's go back to the grade and let me check the grade. All right, so grade has 3 files. 2 Excel files and 1 text file. Now this is the real test for us, right? And this is what exactly my subscriber was, asking me. Now guys, this loop should run 3 times before it should go to the next email. So let's see if we are going to make it or not. Alright, so there we go. Now the active cell is already on the correct cell, so it's going to give you the file name, which is pattern loop. I got it. It should go to the next column, okay, and next attachment. So now the term for the next attachment. All right, we got it. Again, it should go to the next cell, and there we go. Wow, this is working, guys. So you have your all the attachments covered, right? So I again go and run this. You have the espec.txt, you can see that, right? So now turn for the next email. Now again, this will take you to the next cell, which is your date, this one. So I think you keep on running this, and this is working perfect, right? So there we go. Look at this, guys. So I just run this quickly, F5, and yes, we got it, guys. We got it, right? Now this good morning email didn't have any attachment, so no worries. If you don't have any attachment, the loop will not run. That's all, right? The loop comes here and immediately it goes to the next email. This is how you can create this fantastic the code for you. And somebody asked me on the timing part also how you capture the time part. So this is how you can actually capture the time part as well. And I remember that subscriber also asked me that how to capture. So he was actually looking forward for, he was targeting the sent column, sent folder, actually not the subfolder or these inbox or draft. He was saying that he wants to know that the email which sent, what was the time. So that's very simple. I mean, you have to use the same concept, but the only thing is here where you define this folder as dummy, this should change. Now this line should change, and this line is you're supposed to write the folder like this. Let me show you. Let me not delete that. So this is what you will write. Don't write the previous line. So you're gonna write here get default folder, and then you're gonna search for your the sent folder. So just go here and move this cursor a little down, and you should see here sent email. All right, so this is the folder. So when you run this, the same loop in this OL folder sent mail, you will be able to capture, guys, the the time, the sent time actually of your sent emails. So this is the code for you, and I'm just going to just put some backspace here so that you can see the code, and some of the dim statements I can cut them and I can put this in one line. This is how you write so that we can have a space. Let me pause the video and I'll come back. Yeah, so I'm back, guys. This is how the code looks like. Okay, so use this code and enjoy this, and if you have any questions, let me know about it. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because if you are going to subscribe, that's gonna give me confidence, and that's gonna boost my morale as well. And I'll come back and I keep on answering your questions. So thank you so much for your support and love, and thank you so much, dear subscriber, for putting up this question. So I'll see you soon with some another exciting stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.